Hello, I'm Roger Baker, Director of the Stratfor Center for Applied Geopolitics at RANE. This podcast is brought to you by RANE Worldview, the premier digital publication for objective geopolitical intelligence and analysis. Subscribe today at raneworldview.com.
Welcome to RANE's Essential Geopolitics podcast. I'm Emily Donahue. Thanks for joining us. Nigerian presidential elections are in early 2023, but its presidential primaries recently ended. RANE's Sub-Sahara Africa analyst, Clara Brackbill, recently wrote on RANE Worldview that the path toward the presidential election will not be smooth. Luckily, Clara's here now to discuss how primary results will affect Nigeria's political, social, and security situations. Welcome to the podcast, Clara.
Hi, Emily. Thanks for having me.
So, Clara, what exactly happened in these primaries?
So, Nigeria has two major political parties. There's the ruling party, which is the All Progressives Congress, and then there's the People's Democratic Party, the PDP. And so both parties held primaries in the last week. The ruling party, the APC's primaries actually concluded today, June 8th, and Bola Tinubu emerged as the APC nominee. Tinubu is the former governor of Lagos and a longtime political kingmaker in Nigeria. So he has quite a bit of influence throughout the country, particularly in the Southwest. So voting concluded early this morning, but vote counting then finished later in the afternoon on June 8th. So then before that, last week, the PDP, the primary opposition party in Nigeria, concluded their primaries, and they nominated Atiku Abubakar, who received quite a number of votes compared to his nearest competition. And Abubakar actually was vice president in the early 2000s and is from Adamawa State in the Northwest. So we have a geographic distribution here that's quite interesting.
So what did Tinubu and Atiku's nominations mean for the election?
Yeah, good question. So when I just mentioned the geographical distribution there, and Nigeria has a historical practice of rotational zoning. So that means that the presidency, at least since 1999, is supposed to rotate between Nigeria's 6 districts, and that's to ensure, or at least attempt to ensure, fair distribution of power and resources among Nigeria's various ethnic, religious, and geographic groupings. So current President Buhari is from Northwest Nigeria, Katsina State. And so that would mean that the next president, if we adhere to the zoning practice, should be from the Southeast, or at the very least from the 3 regions in the South. Now, as I just mentioned, Tinubu, the ruling party's candidate, is from the Southwest. So that would at least partially satisfy those zoning requirements. Whereas Atiku, the opposition party's candidate, is from the North. So if Atiku wins the presidency, that would effectively break the historical practice of zoning. So this is going to lead to, if not, extremely disputed and highly contentious elections, which I think is highly likely, at least strong debate among Nigerians about what zoning means and how it should be applied as we head into the February electoral season.
Should that happen? Are we looking at unrest?
Nigeria is one of those places where unrest is extremely common in a regular year, not to mention an electoral year. So yes, very likely. And also, it's important to mention that the economic climate right now is particularly conducive to unrest, meaning high fuel prices, fuel subsidies in Nigeria are a hot button issue, and those look like they're going to continue through the end of Buhari's term. But fuel shortages, in addition to high commodity prices such as food, basic everyday goods, are through the roof right now. So that lays the groundwork for unrest. And as we head into, as the competition heats up between Tinubu and Atiku, and as both candidates announce their vice presidents and cabinet selections, there are several kind of flashpoints to watch for in terms of what the future of Nigerian politics will look like. One of those is how much the candidates' platforms and ideologies actually matter. We know that corruption is endemic in Nigerian politics, and the extent to which candidates can buy votes or build alliances based on promises for greater resources or state contracts will likely have some impact on the February polls. It's just a matter of how much impact. Another area we can look to is how candidates propose to address the ongoing insurgency, particularly in the Northeast. So Atiku, who's from Adamawa State, can be expected to funnel greater resources to counterinsurgency operations against the local contingent of the Islamic State. But Tinubu's strategy for dealing with insecurity remains more of a question. And then there's also an open question about representation for the South-South and the Southeast regions. As I mentioned at the top, the Southeast, if we stuck to zoning in its entirety, the Southeast would be the one to get the presidency next. But as it appears that that's not happening, do we then see more violence and militancy coming out of the South and Southeast in the lead up to the election? So, there are a lot of moving parts here, and it's at this point too far out to assess each candidate's odds of winning the presidency, but we can expect the electoral season to be highly volatile.
Clara Brackbill is a Sub-Sahara Africa analyst with RANE. Thank you so much, Clara.
Thank you.
You can read her geopolitical guidance in RANE Worldview. Right now there's an extremely low subscription rate. Check it out at raneworldview.com. That's RANE worldview.com. I'm Emily Donahue, and thank you for listening.